Assalamu alaikum my friends, welcome to my channel Learn Arabic with Shazia. This lesson is lesson number 30 from Madina book 2. In this lesson you are going to learn all about the duals, and there are two lessons left in this book, and both of them deals with musanna or the dual. So this whole conversation is between the two boys and the teacher. So you are going to learn about the duals, the mere or the words in duals and everything about the duals. So let's start with the lesson, the conversation between the teacher and the two boys. Now in the starting of the lesson, you can see in this red print, yaqifu bil bab fatayan. What are these? Yaqifu bil bab fatayan. This means yaqif comes from the fail wa qa fa. Now if you remember the tables before we did in the previous lesson number 29, the fail which has a weak letter at the starting are called al misal. Misal, the light sa, misal. Why? Because it has a wow at the beginning, a weak letter at the far radical. So when you turn it into fail mudare, what happens about this weak letter? It gets dropped, deleted, removed, and the harf mudare comes in. So total our fail mudare has 1, 2, and 3 letters, not 4. Usually the fail mudare has 4 letters. So here you can see the wow has been deleted. Yaqifu means who is, and waqafa means to stand. So, who is standing? Bilbab. Now, the structure Bilbab, if you don't see this structure, you will not realize the formation of the words or the structure, how you say standing beside the door or with the door. How are you going to translate it? Now, B harf jar is usually translated as with, but when it's written as bilbab, that doesn't mean you are going to translate it as with the door. You are going to translate it, and the picture you visualize inside your mind when you read bilbab, that means somebody is standing beside the door or at the door. So you will translate it as the boys are standing at the door, not with the door. The translation will be at the door. So this is how you should keep in mind the translations. Bilbab. Now this phrase is translated as at the door. Fatayan. Now if you see the dual noun Fatayan, how do you recognize that it's a dual? By seeing the two letters alif and noon. This tells us that this noun is a dual noun. Alif and noon with kasra, especially noon with kasra. Fatayani. And what is our original noun here? Our original noun is fata with a alif makhsura. What happens, as I told you, what happens in verb? If you find a verb and you see there is a alif makhsura at the last letter, last lam radical, what happens in present tense? It changes to ya. Similarly, with the noun, when it comes to the noun and you see a alif makhsura at the end, and now you want to join. Suppose you want to join this noun. Suppose you want to join this noun with the me or damir, or with the letters like alif wa noon, or with the alif and noon. What are you going to do with this alif makhsura? This changes to ya, just like the verb, it changes to ya, and ya is then joined with alif wa noon or the damirs. So fata is changed, the alif maksura is changed to ya. So fata ya the alif and noon comes fatayani. So that's how you get this structure. Fatayani means two boys. The alif and noon shows the duality. Fatayani, two boys. So the two boys are standing at the door. That's how you understand the phrase, sentence. And this is Jumlatul Failure. So the Mudarris asks, Udkhula. Now this is a command. Udkhula, command for dual. Command for dual. And man antuma. And this damir is for the duals. Man antuma. And this is for mukhatib, male, and it's dual. And ahaduhuma means one of them. Nahnu Taliban. How do you know this is dual? By seeing the alif and noon with kasra. Now this is Nahnu Mubtada Taliban Jadidan. As this is a nakira noun, that means this is our khabar, and khabar has its sifa. How? Because the sifa follows the noun. So we have the sifa with the same structures with alif one, means we are the new students. And making a noun into dual is same as adding alif and noon with any noun. And in case of a feminine noun, for example, here it was jadid, so you just added alif and noon. What happens when it was a feminine noun? Then what would you do? Jadida. What are you going to do with jadida? Ta marbuta, simple. The ta marbuta is open into the open ta. Jadi, the tani. The ta is open and it becomes the usual normal ta, jadida. The tani. This is an addition. The ta is an addition. So that's the difference between male and female nouns. So Al-Mudarris says marhaban means welcome, bikuma, and bikuma means you too, welcome you too. It doesn't mean with you too. So min aina antuma, from where? Min aina comes as one, both of them when they are added together they become one questioning tool. Min aina means from where? From where? Antuma, from where are you two? So the where are you two? They one of the students says nahnu min as-Sin. Now when somebody asks two persons about the answer, when the two duals answer, they answer in nahnu, we. We is also used for plural, and we is also used for dual. Okay, and min al-Sin means China, and this country name is with marifa al, that means it can take a kasra. These are the rules from the country names. And Mudarris says mata wasaltuma. Wasal means returned or reached. Returned or reached. إلى المدينة المنورة. This is the sifa for Madina, and Munawwara means lightened. Ghteened. Lightened means it comes from the verb nawwara. Nawwara comes from nur. Nur means light. So nawwara is actually it is an exaggerated form of nur. So it is means full of light, brightened, very much brightened. And this nawwara follows the scale of fa'ala. It follows the scale of fa'ala, having a shadda and fatha in the middle ain radical. This you will learn in morphology, but for an extra information I have given you to understand this sifa for Madina, why we call Madina Munawwara. So one of them he says wasalna ams. Now this is a zarf telling the time. Ams means yesterday. Wasalna, the damir with the past tense. So where is our fail? Wasal. Where is our file? Na, nun damir, the noon for nahnu. So we have fail and file. That means this is our complete jumla failure. This is our complete jumla failure. Wasalna. And after this, teacher asks, Atawaman? Tawaman means, are you two twins? Are you two twins? Oh no, the answer why he asked, are you two twins? Oh, naam, yes, we are. Wa kaifa arafta? Kaifa means how do you know? He asks in amazement, like, how do you know we are twins? Arafta, araf is fail. Ta damir for you is file. So araf it comes from arafa. Fail madi arafa. And when it is joined with the damir, past tense damir, what happens usually? The fa with the fatha takes a sukun. This we will learn later, but for the structure, I'm just explaining that when it is joined with these type of damirs like ta, tu, tuma, tum, tunna, usually the last letter of the fill changes into sukun. The fa is removed, I mean the fatha is removed, and it takes a sukun. Arafta. You cannot read arafata. So it becomes arafta. Arafta. ذلك يا أستاذ. So how do you know, O teacher? So the teacher says عرفت fail and file. We have a complete jumla failure here and here also. من الشبه. شبه means shaba is similar, similarity, similarity. If you remember, we did shibh jumla. Shibh jumla means like a jumla, like a sentence, but it is not a complete sentence. It looks like a sentence. That's how it looks like. Similarity, allazi, that is between. Bainakuma. Baina means this is also a zarf. Baina is also a zarf. And kuma means between you two. It means between you two. Now, if it is a zarf, any zarf, if it comes like any zarf, if it comes with any noun. This noun falls under which position? Majroor, and takes as mudaf ilahi. It takes the name of mudaf ilahi and it gets a kasra. Now, in case of a damir, what happens if it comes with the zarf? What happens? This also falls into majroor and in the name of mudaf ilayhi and gets a kasra. But damir cannot have a kasra because damir are made mabni. You cannot say kumi. So kuma is mabni and it will be called mudaf ilahi in the position of mudaf ilahi, but it will not take a kasra. Because why damirs can't take kasra? Because damirs are mabni. They may fall, they may take the positions, they may change the names, but they cannot change their harakas. So in this case, zarf plus damir will be in the position of mudaf ilayh. Ma asma'ukuma. Asma'u means the names, plural, and the singular is ism. And what about this waw, a hamza sitting on the waw? Whenever, this is the rule of writing hamza, you will so learn in the step-by-step book that I'm uploading. Still, I have not uploaded the lesson on hamza writing rules, but let me explain. Whenever you have hamza at the end, okay, just like we did here, uh, the fatah, just we did in the starting of the lessons for fatah. It had an alif makhsura and you change the alif makhsura into ya if you wanted to put alif and noon with it. So here also, whenever you see a hamza at the end and now you want to add the damir or anything here, what you will do, you cannot write asma'ukuma as like this. Asma'ukuma. You cannot write hamza in between like this. Hmm? Now, if you see it has a dhamma here, what you will do as the wow goes with the dhamma, you will put a wow under hamza. For example, I'll rub this off. It's totally wrong. You cannot write a hamza with dhamma only. For attaching with the damir kuma, what you do is asma and you put a wow because hamza is having a dhamma and wow goes with dhamma, and you will put the hamza on the seat and then put the dhamma. Hamza is sitting on its seat. Why it is sitting on the wow? Because of the dhamma. If it would have a fatha, then it would sit on the alif mahsura. If it would have a ya, it would sit on the ya. And uh, if it comes in between, it has a seat called sin. So it can take a dhamma, fatha, or a kasra if it comes in between a word. So these are from the writing rules of Hamza, but right now it's at the end. So we will decide the seat according to the haraka. So now it has a dhamma. So let's put it over a wow and then koma. So this is how you will write the uh, hamzas when it comes in the noun. So this is just a small information about writing hamza. And he says ismi. Now this is ism, singular. Ism is noun and name and plus damir. So we have noun and we have a damir. So whenever a damir is attached with a noun, what position does the damir fall into? Remember, whenever a damir is attached with a noun, that damir falls under mudaf ilahi and the noun becomes the mudaf. So it is an idafa construction. Okay, this is an idafa construction. Al Hasan ismi Al Hasan. Now this Hasan takes marifa. Al Hasan means his name is Hasan. Wa akhi, and my brother. Similar, this is also an idafa with noun and damir. Ismuhu, his name. This is noun and damir, so it is an idafa. This is also an idafa. Al Husainu, his brother's twin brother name is Hussein and his name is Hassan. So both are also similar looking names, similar sounding names. Now we move on to the rest of the lesson here. So the teacher says, a lakuma, this is Hamzatul Istifham, kuma, lakuma, this is harf jar. As I told you, harf jar li. Whenever it is attached with damir, what happens? It changes to la with fatha. Only this form remains when it is attached with ya mutakallim. So it remains with the kasra. For other damirs, it will change to la. So that's why here la. So this is a questioning tool. A lakuma, for you. Ikhwatun wa akhawatun. Now another small information here. Whenever you are asking a human being regarding a human being, what happens? You will use the harf jar lam. This harf jar is used, and literally when you translate lakuma, the meaning will be for you. But when you translate the Arabic sentence, you cannot say do is for you or do for you ikhwatun wa akhawatun. No, you will translate it into as do you have do you have a brother or sister? Do you have brother or sister? Now, if you look into these two nouns, what are they? This has a ta marbuta and this has alif wa ta. It is feminine muannas, muannas salim. So what is ikhwa? Ikhwatun, it does have a ta marbuta, but it is the plural of akh. It is the plural of akh. Now, akh has two plurals. One is um, ikhwan. Now, please pay attention. There is a lot of details in this word. Ikhwan. Ikhwanun, and it has a plural. Ikhwatun. Okay, it has a plural of ikhwatan. Now in both these cases, both these plurals, what is the structure? You say the alif is having a fatha. Here also alif is having a fatha, and kha is having a sukun, and kha is having a sukun. This is very important, very important. You should make a note about it. Why? Because the when you come to the dual of akh, what is the dual of akh? You should know. The dual of akh is a khawan. Does it look similar with ikhwan? Yes, it is similar. What is the difference? The difference you see here, I'll take another color here. The difference is the fatha on the alif, the fatha on the kha, and likewise. So there is no kasra below the alif, there is no sukoon on the kha. So this tells you that this is the dual of the word akh. So that's why I was stressing on the point of alif having a kasra and kha having a sukoon over it in the plurals. And the dual is akhawan. This is very important. So ikhwatun is a plural of akh. It is plural. And akhawat, how do you distinguish between ikhwatun and akhawat? Which is for the brother and which is for the sister? This is the plural of brother, as I told you. You should know, even though it has a ta marbuta, but it's a plural of akh. There are two plurals here for akh. And akhawat, seeing the alif wata, it is the sign of jama muannath salim. And you should know, jama muannath salim rules are only for those nouns which are feminine by meaning and by structure. For example, ukht. So in this case, this word is feminine by meaning, not by structure. So that's why it follows Jama Muannas Salim rules. And if you have Jadida, as the example I gave you before, Jadida with ta marbuta. Now here this noun is feminine by structure with the ta marbuta. So that's why it will follow Jadidat alif wata, the Jama Muannas Salim rules. So you should keep this in mind. So Hassan says, Naam, lana akhawani. Now, lana means for us? No. We have. This is for with the harf jar lam. And why lam is used for when you're asking or something related with human beings? Because in the previous lesson, as I have told you, this harf jar lam is used when you use when you want to ask about a human being, or when you want to say that I have a sister or a brother. You cannot use inda. Inda is used only when you are saying or something is related with objects. غير عقل. Amma, as for. This is another tool used in making sentences, but this we will learn in Madina book 3 how this is used, amma, in sentences. So for now, just know that it means as for. Al akhawani, as for my two brothers. Fayamalani. Now the fail is also being made into dual when the two now when the noun is a dual and you want to say about them, the verb is also made dual. Fa then means very quickly. for فَيَعْمَلَانِ. This is fa sababiya. Means you are giving the reason. Fa sababiya is used when reasons come. يعملاني comes with فعل يعمل and plus ألف النون. يعملاني في مكتب خطوط. مكتب office. خطوط, you can see the kasra. That means because of this fee, it is having a kasra here. And this is mudaf. This is mudaf ilahi. Another is jawiyatin. Jawiyatin, this is, what is this? Can anybody guess what is this? What is this ya structure? This is having a shadda. The ya is having a shadda. This is the sign of nisba, and nisba comes as a sifa. So that's why you can see the kasratain. So this is a nisba, and this is not a triple construction having a triple noun. So this is maktabi khututin. Maktabi khututin means khutut comes from khat. Khat means line, and khutut is plural, means lines. Lines, plural. So this is khutut, lines. Jawiyati, airlines. They work in the office of airlines. Air. Huh? And waqad darasan. And darasan, they studied. This is a past tense, and this is the alif for dual. They too studied. Fi ma'ahadil means in which institute? Institute. Institute of Lugha, language. Institute of language. Hada means now. This is mudaf ilahi and this is mudaf. Why it is having a kasra? Because of the harf jar. Ma'hadil lughati, language of, institute of language or language institute, both you can say. Hada. And why is this haza at the end? Anybody can remember the rule for mudaf ilayhi when ismal ishara comes? When ismal ishara comes for mudaf, it is usually written at the end. So this you will translate fi ma'hadil lughati hadha means in this institute of language. Your translation will be in this institute of language, or you can say language institute. قبل سنوات, before a year of, before years or few years, because it's in plural. وأما, and as for, again أما, as for الأختان, my two sisters, the تدرسان. Now you can see تدرسان. This ta is used for femininity in the ghaibs. في المدرسة الثانوية. Where do the two sisters study? In the secondary school. ثانوية means secondary school. كانت لنا أختان أخريان. And we had, lana, we had, because this is for past tense. Kana means was, and this is being used for the feminine. So kanat lana, we had, ukhtan, two sisters, ukhran, another. Another. Now this ukhran is coming as a sifa for ukhtan. So it is following the same in the structure and the harakas and all. Ukhran means another. From ukhra, from the word ukhra. Okay, ukhra. And that's why now this is another word ukhra. And there is an explanation, detailed explanation with the word Ukhra for feminine and ukhra for male. So I'm not going into detail now. Just know that this word has an alif maksura at the end. And when you want to join alif wa noon, it changes to ya. That's why ukhrayan. Matata. Mata is the fail and ta is the femininity sign and alif for duality. So we have the damir or the file and we have our jumla failure. Matata means they died. Fi sigari. Sigar is the means when they were small. So let's move on to the rest of the lesson. Now, this is the last part of the conversation. Al-Mudarris says, في أي كلية. Now, if you know about this questioning tool, this I is flexible, okay? It can change its haraka to ayu, ayi, and ayya. Why it has a kasra? Because of the harf jar. You should know that other questioning tools like hamzatul istifham or kaifa or man, they cannot change their harakat. This is an exception. This is the only questioning tool that can change its haraka. And now it is in the position of mudaf and mudaf ilahi. Ayyi kulliyatin, which college? Turidani antadrusa. Turidani means this is a present tense and the teacher is asking both of them in front of him. Turida means arada, comes from arada means want. In which college do you want to? Antadrusa, this whole structure means to study. And it has a big explanation, but I'm not going right now into it. بعد دراسة اللغة العربية. After studying the Arabic language, remember they were studying in the language institute, so they were studying Arabic language. So he says, after studying Arabic language, which college do you want to go and study? So Hussein, the other twin, says, Uridu, I want to study Adrusa. Now, why is it changing from Adrusu to Adrusa? Because an is the tool of nasb and it is changing the fail mudare to the nasb position with the fatha on the last letter. And we should know that the fail mudare is mu'arab, means it changes its haraka according to the position. But fail madi is not. It's not changing. It's mabni throughout. بكلية بكلية الشريعية شريعية means بكلية Sharia means the Islamic law college of Islamic laws. So بكلية the college kulliya and ashari means Islamic laws. Amma, as for Al-Hasan, the first twin. Al-Hasan for yuridu. Now yuridu for ghaya. Okay. An yadrusa. You can see the fatha. An yadrusa. You can see the ya is for the ghaya because Hussein is saying for his twin brother Hassan, who is the first twin. Bikulliyatil Quran al-Kareem. He will study in the college of Quran al-Kareem, means he will study Quran. So he is informing that he will go to the College of Islamic Laws, and his brother Hassan will go to the College of Quran al-Karim. And the teacher asks again. He doesn't ask, but after listening that they will go to these colleges, so he makes a dua for both of them. How do you know that he makes the dua for both of them? By seeing the alif musanna, the damir kuma, and waffaka means to be successful. May Allah, what is the meaning? May Allah make you too successful. Okay. Waffakumallahu means it is a dua. Then Hussein says, Nuridu. Now, noon is for we. used by the duals. Okay, used also by the duals. Nuridu an nazhaba. You can see the fatha because of the an. Ila muraqib. So he says that we want to go to the muraqib. Muraqib is means uh, you can say a librarian, the one who sees in the library that what you're studying, he's in charge of that place actually. So you can say a librarian. Al-Mudarris, La tazhaba. Now, La tazhaba is the negative command. Negative command, and this is negative La, and it is a tool of jazm. And what it is? Tool of jazm. One, its work is to it plays the two role. One is it's negative. When you want to give a negative command, it's used, and it is also tool of jazm. So la tadhaba. Now why isn't having a sukoon here? Because the this tadhabani is from the afalul khamsa. The original form of this fail mudare is tadhabani. Okay, with alif and noon. But when a fail from afalul khamsa comes with the negative lam or any other in the with the tool of jazm, what happens? The noon drops. The noon drops. And what is left with? Tadhaba. This is the sign that it's in the jazm position. And this is the rule for the afalul khamsa. We will do it later. Ilayhi, and we want to go to him al-an. This is also zarf of time. Al-an, now. فَإِنَّهُ مَشْغُولٌ. So the teacher says, don't go now. Ilayhi, to him. Al-an means now. You don't go now to him. Why? Because he is mashghulun. He is busy. Busy comes from shaghala, to struggle. Okay, shaghala. It's shaghala means busy, and this is a masdar actually, verbal noun. Yumkinu. Yumkinu means yumkinu kuma with the damir. This is the fa'il mudare. Yumkinu, and what is the fa'il? Kana. Kana in present tense with the ghayab ya. Yumkinu kuma. So here means, is it possible for you to? Is it possible an tadhaba? Again the noon is dropped. Why? Because of tool of nasb. So you can see with the tool of jazm the same rule, noon is dropped. With the tool of jazm the noon is dropped. With the tool of nasb the noon is dropped. The rule for us afalul khamsa is the same in jazm and in nasb. Ilayhi ba'da intihai. Intihai means after the end. Al-hissati. Now, intihai, al-hissati are the triple construction idafa. This is the mudaf and it is a zarf. As I told you, when zarf comes with any noun, it is also in mudaf ilayhi position. So this is mudaf ilahi. Another role of intihai is mudaf. It is playing a double role and it has only a single kasra. Do you remember the rules of triple construction? Al-hissati. This is also having a kasra and this is a mudaf ilahi. So intihai is a mudaf ilahi to ba'da, and intihai is a mudaf to al-hissati. So we have a three noun involved in this idafa. So this is an idafa construction after the end of this of the period. Idhaba. Now this is a positive command. Okay, positive command. Idhaba, and it is the command for dual. How do you know? The ba. And how do you know it is a command? How do you know? This is very important. Let me remove all this. Now, how do you know it is a command for dual? How did I recognize it's a command for dual? It simply looks like it's a fail. Is haba. Look at the structure. Normal present tense will be azhaba, right? Azhabani. Okay. So what is the difference here? The first is the kasra. As you can see here, it has a hamza and a fatha. Now we have a sukoon on is, ha, ba. These are the same. And what about the noon? It's cancelled. It's deleted. Idhaba. So with the command also, the alif having a kasra. Why? Do you remember from the rules of making the command? The third letter, if it has a fatha, the alif will have a kasra. Okay, if it has a kasra, it will have a kasra, right? So that's how you recognize this is a command. And the second point, second proof it is a command, the noon is deleted. The first point, it has a kasra. The second point, the noon is deleted. So that's how you know this is a command form. And in the proper fail mudare, what happens? It has a hamza and the last you can see the noon. Al-ana zarf ila al-maktabati. Now, like he says, now you can go to the library. Wa khuza. This is also a positive command and the noon is dropped. Okay, and do you remember why it have an alif here? Why is it khuza? If you remember the command of akhaza, it's khud, two letter, but sukoon. Now, when you remember, if from the rules of command, if the first letter has a haraka, you need not put an alif here. So that's why there is no alif here. Khuda. And why the dhal is having a fatha here? Because of the alif musanna. It is a long vowel. Now, if anybody gets confused with this alif musanna, long vowel, know that this alif has lot of roles. So here it is playing the alif musanna. And since it is an alif and it has a long sound phonetics, it goes with the fatha. So it's khuda, al-kutuba. Now take from the library what? It is maful bihi. And this is the sifa for this maful bi, and it is a ghayraqil kutub. That's why it is in the feminine singular noun. Muqarrara. Take from the library kutuba al muqarrarata. It's a sifa following the same haraka. And this is fail. And where is the file here? Hmm? File is the alif muthanna. So we have our fail plus file and we have our maful bihi. So we have this whole jumla ismiya. This is the whole jumla ismiya, and kutub al-muqarrara means the prescribed books. So this is the end of the lesson. I hope each and every point is clear with you, and I'll be making another video for the exercises inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.